first talk was about Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King. It was talking about how they had won a war without actually taking heed into a war violently.
My name is Eddie Stern. I'm a yoga instructor. Stretch the arm. If I see a place where yoga would be helpful and someone invites me to do something, I say yes. That's all there is to it.
My name is Juquille Johnston. These days I'm just taking them as they come, doing what I like to do, doing what I love to do. Where I live, South Jamaica Queens, basically to be exact, it's dangerous. You can't get robbed, can't get shot if it gets to that point, and regular life thing.
Juquille is a very talented young man in basketball as well as in music.
To me, my sound, I like to party with it. I like to make people hyper, dance.
What's going on now is that the gun violence is beginning to rise again. Just on the 4th of July in New York City, 20-something people were shot. In the particular precinct that we live in, the murder rate is up 150%. Because of the crack epidemic in the 80s, their parents are either in jail, murdered, or they were removed from their houses and put in foster care.
My dad's name was Juquille Johnston. I believe it was 1999. I was about 6 years old. My dad was shot and killed.
You know, I think growing up in the environment where that's all they see, like everyone was dying after a while, it kind of became a norm that I didn't want them to live, you know, and define as a norm in their life. So I constantly exposed them to different things to let them know that there's another world.
Erica formed Life Camp with me and my brother because it was to keep us off the streets, keep us away from the violence. So I was told to meet her at this location. To get from South Jamaica to downtown, I have to get on the bus, ride the bus to Jamaica Avenue, and get on the train. So it takes about an hour and 15 minutes. I actually couldn't find it at first. I was calling around and stuff, and I finally found it. And that's when I met Eddie, and I found out it was yoga.
When our sense of self is touched, such that we feel a kinship with other beings and with all other souls, these feelings begin to be replaced by compassion, empathy, and peace.
All right, good. Somebody else for the last paragraph?
The first talk was about Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King. It grasped my attention because it was talking about how they had won a war without actually taking heed into a war violently. Just by speaking and taking actions of non-violent things, they gained what they was fighting for.
A few years ago, I lost my brother to violence, and following that, a few months later, I lost my mother as well. And I was hurt, of course, sad and depressed.
I know it's going to sound like a cliche, but to have these kids from Life Camp coming here, it's like an honor practically. Their lives and their losses are so profound. Just to teach them and to interact with them, I feel a whole different level of responsibility towards the information and towards the way that I convey things with them. And exhale the arms down. Good. There was some reticence in the beginning, but now you can see that they're practicing better and they're becoming more in tune with their practice. Look towards the navel and we'll breathe 5 times.
It just feels like your mind is completely cleared of everything else and you're just focusing on that one position. And it's easy to like apply that back to life when you have something to focus on, to just clear your mind of everything else and just focus on one specific thing.
We notice in these kids that their transformation is much more rapid than some very serious students of yoga, because they're naturally drawn to the movement, the gestures, the body language. You can see the change in their expression, in their eye movements, and the joy that comes from movement.
When we do things to relieve stress, then we are relieving the anxiety or the need to be destructive. And that's what we want kids to do, to be productive and to be happy and relieved. Yoga can transform communities, individuals, the world.
When I find myself going into a point of sadness or anger, when I meditate and think of the good times that I had with them and the memories that was created with them, it kind of brings me to a place of happiness instead of that place of sadness or anger where I shut the world out.
Violence is quick in nature. So what if we slow down all of our tendencies to react quickly? What if we slow down our tendencies to indignation? Just check to see who is it that feels threatened. Exhale, bend to the side. Place your hand on your leg.
One of the things that I want to see is, I love my life healing centers in the hoods of America, you know, where we use yoga and meditation for all of the gangbangers and OGs and triple OGs and guys who feel like the only alternative they have is to pick up that gun and shoot somebody, and giving them a tool to stop, breathe, and think and heal. Because peace is a lifestyle, and we want it to be a lifestyle with everyone, you know.
I used to have a short temper. I don't really get mad like that anymore. I've actually came to a sense of peace with myself. I've learned that if I've done something wrong, not to take an action to make things worse, but to just deal with it and try my best to make it right, rather than just let everything go downhill.
There's a painting about the inside of my mouth because the tumor began in my mouth. I remember being in the hospital and just dying to move, and I just started doing an Ashtanga yoga practice in my head, and it worked. And I was like, this is great. I don't even need a body to do yoga.
Here's the Dalai Lama, here's young people of Britain, here's me, somewhere between that. And then I introduced him, right, and I said it's funny because I won these prizes in England, Shagger of the Year, these for my shagging.
Right,
and,
congratulations, by the way,
no.
felicitations.
The shagging it's reward enough.